Hello, I'm Charles Gross, and this is Two on the Aisle First Impressions, and I have just seen the first part of the Angels in America revival, Part 1, Millennium Approaches. This is, of course, the Tony Kushner classic, directed by Marion Elliott. Now, it's been a long time since this play first opened, and when it did, the AIDS crisis was raging. People were very scared. And there were other plays, such as The Normal Heart and Falsetto Land, and this play stood up with the best of them, and it still does today. So AIDS is no longer as scary, although it is still a pretty bad thing, and the millennium has come and gone. So what does that leave us? Well, it leaves us a really well-written play that holds up, even if the novelty is no longer there, even if the crisis is no longer there, even if our attitudes towards gay people in general has changed so greatly. From when this play first opened, it still has the characters, it still has the story, and perhaps there's still some relevance in there too. Nathan Lane leads the cast as Roy Cohn. He starts off as the gayest Roy Cohn I've ever seen, but packs a wallop with the performance. All the other actors do an excellent job, and Leslie Hoban Blake and I will be discussing this in detail on an upcoming Two on the Aisle. In the meantime, I'll be back a little later with Part 2, Perestroika. Now, when I saw the original production of Angels and an off-Broadway revival a few years ago, and I have often thought that Perestroika didn't quite have the freshness and the excitement of the first part, Millennial Approaches. How are you? Okay, by all means,
Photobomb. Hey, from Harper, hi.
And this is Harper. Come on, go ahead.
Don't even listen to it. Don't even.
Well, those were two of the cast members. And they played Lewis and Harper, and they were amazing, as was Nathan Lane as Roy Cohn. All in all, it appears that this second part has had a few rewrites, and, well, it's better. Quite frankly, it is better. It continues the story of Harper, who we just saw, and Lewis, who we just saw. She's married to she's a Mormon married to a gay Mormon lawyer who's Roy Cohn's disciple, and, Lewis was the boyfriend of Pryor, who is suffering from AIDS. And that's the story in a nutshell. But it is told so much better here. It started off, the highlight was Nathan Lane, but then as it moved on, well, I don't know what happened, but it worked. The updates, Lane's performance, the direction, or perhaps because many years later, where AIDS is still around but no longer quite as feared, we can just concentrate on the material, which turns out to be very good. All in all, this production of Angels in America, Parts 1 and 2, is the best I've ever seen. And I always thought it was pretty good to begin with. And this is Two on the Aisle First Impressions. Leslie Hoban Blake and I will give a more in-depth review on an upcoming Two on the Aisle.